Hey, good morning, everybody. We're doing Joshua 11 today. Actually, we were supposed to do it yesterday, but because of a family emergency, I wasn't able to do it in a timely manner, so I just decided to wait until today. I didn't want to go ahead and do this too late, but everything is okay now, and we are right back on track with Joshua 11 today. And as we take a look at this, we see that Joshua 11 starts with the northern conquest, where this king, Jabin, king of Hazor, heard what was going on, and just like what we talked about in chapter 10, he goes ahead and starts getting together all these kings and all these kingdoms, and I counted at least 15 of them. Some of them aren't even named, where it says the kings who were from the north, and it doesn't even say how many or who they were. So I counted, here's at least 15 kingdoms that's going to come up against Israel and come up against Joshua. And the Lord tells Joshua, he says in verse 6, he says, "Do not be afraid of them, for tomorrow at this time I will deliver all of them slain before Israel. You shall hamstring their horses and burn their chariots with fire." And that's exactly what happened. You see, Joshua was just being obedient to God, just doing exactly what God said. And that's exactly what happened. Then we go on, and they won. They took them all. And we go down to finish the chapter as a summary of Joshua's conquests. And you go and you look through all this, and you're like, wow. I mean, they have taken the promised land. They have done what they were supposed to do. They have conquered life. They have done it. And they have allowed God to fulfill his promises through them. And as I look back on this, and when I see the parallel is, at the end of my life, when I look back, do I want to see a string of victories just like the Israelites did? I don't want, when I look back at the end of my life, I don't want to look back and see all the times I was defeated. Nobody wants that. We want to look back and see all the times that we were conquered, that we have conquered. And this is great testimony to God, because he is the victor. He is the one that gives us, as we just read here in chapter 11, he is the one that gives us these victories. But we can't have the victories if we don't have the relationship. We can't have the victories if we don't have the time in the Word. If you look at 2 Timothy 3, chapter 3, it teaches about a church in the last days, and a church without power. Okay? And I'm gonna tell you, you can't have the victory if you don't have the power. And how you get the power is by spending time in Word, being obedient to the voice of God, investing in that relationship with Jesus, and actually being the church and not just going to church. Be the church. Be the hands and feet of Christ. He teaches us in Corinthians about the body of Christ, that we are to be, that the body has hands, the body has feet, the body has a nose, the body has all these different parts, and we don't know what the other is doing or even what it's used for, but we are to trust that it's God and it's from God. So I tell you, Pentecostals, love your Baptist brothers. Methodists, love the Pentecostals. There needs to not be division in the body if we want to have the power, and we need the power to conquer life. We need the power to conquer the enemy, because our power isn't good enough. So be the church. Invest your life into things that are godly. And when you get to the end, you can look back and go, wow, look what the Lord has done. Look what the Lord has done. Have a great day, guys. I love you all.